My name is Prism, and welcome back to the Media Spotlight. Today, I'd like to talk about dogs. Specifically, guys, today I'd like to talk about the 1961 animated feature film from Walt Disney Studios, 101 Dalmatians. Now, 101 Dalmatians is the 17th feature from the Walt Disney Animation Studios company, and it is the 6th film in the Silver Age of Walt Disney Animation, and in fact, it is the first feature to use the animation technique known as xerography. Now, xerography is an animation technique that was created in order to cut down costs and animation time. And while this style would be beneficial to the production of 101 Dalmatians and future animated features, it definitely had its drawbacks with how it made the animation look, with lots of grainy lines and such like that. We're not going to talk about xerography too much, and I'm not going to bother trying to explain what it is. You can look it up. But basically, just know that going into the 1960s, this was a cost-cutting measure to kind of help the fact that Sleeping Beauty was a box office bomb and the budgets were getting higher. And while I think it works for this film, it doesn't work for a lot of the future films. Or maybe it does. Who knows? But 101 Dalmatians. I really like this movie. 101 Dalmatians has a pretty simple premise. It tells the story of Pongo, a purebred Dalmatian, and his pet Roger. Roger is his owner, and Pongo is looking for a mate for his owner. He feels that his owner is lonely and deserves to have someone to love him in his life. And after a bit of gazing out the window and seeing who would be the right fit, Pongo finds Perdita, a female Dalmatian. But more importantly, he finds Anita, a woman that he ends up getting Roger to meet, and it's love at first sight. Not initially, but it's a classic love story. Dogs get tangled, mishaps happen, and you end up with the two couples getting together. Now, after some time has passed, Perdita is expecting a litter of Dalmatian puppies, and Cruella de Vil is viciously after them, wanting to use them for her dogskin coat, her magnum opus, at the cost of these poor puppies' lives. And right off the bat, we have a villain that is very easy for the audience to dislike, because people hate seeing dogs hurt, and the villain wants to hurt dogs. So already this film is making its job easy of creating a very easy to get behind heroes versus villain story. Now, on one stormy night in October, Perdita is having the puppies. And in fact, this is probably one of the best scenes of the film. The scene of Pongo and his owner Roger waiting for the puppies. Everything about this scene, I talk about it a little bit later, but everything about this scene really works. The pacing of it, the intensity of it, and then just that energy once the scene finally lifts in order to tell us the news that the puppies are born. It's very effective. People love dogs, and I keep saying this, but when you create a villain or a story that uses dogs, it is very easy to get the audience engaged. No matter what that premise is. Actually, that's not true, but in this case, come on. You just want to see the 15 Dalmatian puppies. And the puppies are born. But Cruella de Vil actually is still wanting them. She even comes in offering to buy them, and Roger has to stand his ground and tells her that...
Oh, now really, enough of this nonsense. I'll pay you twice what they're worth. Come now, I'm being more than generous. Blast this pen! Blast this wretched, wretched pen! When can the puppies leave their mother? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Never.
What?
We're not selling the puppies. Not a single one. Do you understand?
Why, Anita, is he serious? I really don't know, Roger.
Well, Cruella, he seems...
Oh, surely he must be joking.
No. I mean it. You're not getting one. Not one. And that's final.
Why, you horrid men. You... All right. Keep the little beasts for all I care. Do what you like with them. Drown them. But I warn you, Anita, we're through. I'm through with all of you. I'll get even. Just wait. You'll be sorry. You fools. You idiots!
Ellen, not satisfied with this, decides to go full speed ahead and capture the Dalmatian puppies, steal them, for the purpose of getting her dogskin coat. And of course, Pongo and Perdita are not going to sit for having their children skinned by this devil woman, and so they set out on a quest to save the puppies. The plan is foiled, and the puppies are saved, and of course, we end up with 101 Dalmatians for the small little family. Now, like I said, 101 Dalmatians. I love dogs, so you already kind of know my opinion. I love this movie. But I don't just love it because it's about dogs, because you can make a bad dog movie. I've seen a couple. But I love it, I think, also for its simplicity. It's not a fairy tale, really. It's more of a down-to-earth film. It's not glorious locations like a fantasy kingdom or a castle in the sky. It's just London. And like I said, xerography definitely is a cheaper animation technique. But you know what? For 101 Dalmatians, it works. Xerography really works for this film. It should be noted that this film probably wouldn't exist without the technique, as it would have been almost impossible to design over 101 Dalmatians. All the spots, every single shot having to be consistent. Yeah, there's no way this film would have been made, and if it was, it would have definitely been on a smaller scale. But I really like 101 Dalmatians. I think its story has such charm. I really do. I find the story of 101 Dalmatians to be quite fascinating. Not even fascinating, but quite wholesome. It's a simple, kind of down-to-earth little story about family and loyalty, and has some Disney action and fun. And of course, the big standout for this film is Cruella de Vil, which continues the trend of great Disney villains. We had Maleficent in the last movie, and in this film we have Cruella. And Cruella, her animation, her dialogue, her movements, they all sell the performance. And she makes her presence known in the film. But even with this plot, the film slows down to have heartfelt moments, such as the moment where the dogs are trying to escape her, and they have to basically get help. Like, they're stuck in the winter with the storm, and, they're about to die, so that's a big part of it, that, they have to get saved. They have to outwit Cruella by turning into Labradors, by rolling in soot. You even have a moment earlier, the scene when the puppies are being born. It's breathtaking. Not in animation, but in intensity. You don't know these dogs, and you aren't these owners, but you feel the intensity. The music, the little bit of time you've gotten to know these characters, the ticking clock, and then the explosion of the scene, where you just have the excitement of the puppies being born. And then even a little bit earlier than that, or when they are born, you have the moment of, will one of the puppies die? And it truly is heart-wrenching. And I truly think 101 Dalmatians is one of Disney's best works. Might not be the most groundbreaking animated film, but it's almost like Lady and the Tramp, but it's got more of a family aspect. Instead of it just being about Lady and her life, it's about Pongo and Perdita and the puppies. And I think in that, it's a very easy film to either be on board with or not be on board with. If you don't care about dogs, you won't care about this movie. But if you do care about dogs, you're easily going to be won over with its script. Like, it's a very well-paced film. There aren't moments that are really boring, and there's great ideas like the Twilight Bark and the entire fight at the DeVille place with the dogs versus Horace and Jasper, which is allowed to be a very brutal scene because, well, you don't care about these characters. So it's very satisfying when they kind of get their karma of the Dalmatians trying to fight them in this vicious battle. And I mean, everything still is, like, top-notch. Like, this is going back to a strong story. Sleeping Beauty, I would argue, kind of lost the plot a little bit. Not that it forgot its plot, but it kind of forgot to make it a good one. 101 Dalmatians says, we're going back to giving the audience a simple dog story, and it's a really satisfying one to watch. And it perfectly complements itself to the live-action formula, hence why I think the live-action remake was so successful. It's just about 101 Dalmatians and Cruella de Vil. That's what makes the movie work. People care about dogs, and people are scared of Cruella, but yet they like Cruella. Not in a romantic sense, but in a character sense. For every complaint you can give Cruella, like she's evil, she's not a nice person, you don't want to be around her, she's yet still fun to watch on screen and give this performance. And I just think 101 Dalmatians is a really good film. But that's my review for 101 Dalmatians. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this was a quicker review, but I did want to get this out there so I could kind of get rid of all the reviews that I'm overdue on. Next, we'll be taking a look at 1963's The Sword in the Stone, and I haven't even watched it yet, but I'm kind of dreading it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Whoa!